Hello, my awesome Aries, and welcome to your April love bonus. So this is just a general reading. Please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't checked out your monthly reading, it is up on the channel. Also, your weekly reading. So I do hope you enjoy those. Check out your other signs if they don't seem to resonate with you. However, if you do enjoy them, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. It does mean the world to me. It helps it get to the other Aries, and I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and try to tackle your love reading, okay? So let's go ahead and get in here and see what we can find out for your love. We're going to do this as a past, present, future, okay? And we'll see kind of what we're looking at, and certainly put the emphasis on love with this. So here we have your past, and in your past category here, I do feel like this is past, present, future spread there for you. In the past, I'm feeling that you have this Four of Cups, it's in reverse. So I do feel like you have allowed people into you, okay? I feel like you've allowed people into you that maybe you normally wouldn't. So maybe these were ill-advised choices. These may be people that you did not necessarily think that you would ever entertain, okay? Typically, they would be people you might push away, not be interested in, but you were trying to keep an open mind. You let these people come in. But, you know, I don't necessarily think, I think that for a lot of you, especially those of you who've been recently through a breakup, or that have separated, or that are maybe in a relationship that you're not completely thrilled with, okay? I feel like that's part of the problem. It's not that you kept an open mind. Don't take that in the wrong way. But I think it's just that you're realizing that, okay, it was nice that you did keep an open mind. It was nice that you tried something. You learned something about yourself. Every experience, it's like you never, you can't ever succeed if you don't fail. You have to fail in order to get to succeed. But this just isn't the one, okay? So, you have this Queen of Swords energy here. And I do feel like that is what kind of made you kind of realize, you were kind of getting your Queen of Swords energy together. You're feeling that vibe. You're kind of like, I need to cut through this bull a little bit because maybe you're starting to realize that, I shouldn't have entertained this person specifically. I wanted to keep my options open, or maybe I was just, I went with my gut over my head that time, or my heart over my head that time, or maybe I was thinking with my nether regions instead of my brain, because I thought they were hot, something like that. That could be it. Attraction is really powerful sometimes, especially, I think they're hot. I thought they were, whatever. And so you went with it, and it just, but once you kind of got to know each other a little bit more, you're like, oh my, what the hell was I thinking, right? You're like, oh God. So your Queen of Swords energy is like, nah, I got to cut this out with my sword, literally. Okay. So I feel like that's what's kind of been going on in the past. And I'll get one more clarifier on that for you here. Just to kind of get through with the past here. So the Chariot, and that's just telling me that you knew, that's kind of, you were like, I got to get out of here. I've got to move on. I've got to move forward to bigger, better things. I'm the Queen of Swords. I am powerful. I am strong. I can do better for myself. Not that this person maybe was a bad person or anything like that. I'm not necessarily getting a vibe that they were a horrible person. They just weren't the person for you. Okay. They weren't a good fit for you, weren't a good match for you. You realize that. So, moving on. Okay. So here's where I finally kind of see you now. This is the now category. And I feel like Emperor status. Okay. So for me, I feel like this is somebody who's, coming into you. Okay. So I feel like if you haven't met this person yet, you may, gender neutral, of course, in tarot. But I feel like this person's coming into you with their stability, their sturdy, sound nature, their full on, capacity to control the room. They are a very stable kind of figure, a dominant kind of figure, a masculine figure, again, gender neutral though, but you know what I mean about that. So it's somebody who you would look up to, that you would find to be very much not just an attraction, not just they're a hot piece to have as a side piece, or they're a hot person, or, they're really fun to be with, but that's about it, or, they're rich, but they have no other quality whatsoever. So, I could date them if I wanted money, but other than that, or they're immature fun, but you get the gist. This is a person who is all around awesome. Okay. And I think the person that you will enjoy, if you haven't already met this person, or you don't already have this person in mind who I'm talking about, I do feel like they are coming into you very, very soon. Okay. The next card I see is the Fool. So this to me is telling me that you will kind of lose yourself in this person. So that's kind of almost a double-edged sword in its regard. One part of that is it's great because, when you fall in love and you're all encompassed in that, it is a wonderful feeling. You're just like, oh, I'm so happy and I'm in love, and you're not paying attention to anything around you or anything like that. But if you let it go too far, you can lose who you are, your identity and all of that. So just be cognizant of that, happy-go-lucky, free, lucky in love, floating through the world, happy, like Fool is wonderful. Okay. As long as there's this dog here or somebody to keep you from walking off this cliff. Okay. Which is, to me, I'm feeling in this is like the loss of yourself. Okay. This is like metaphorically, you walking off this cliff would be like losing a part of yourself. So like giving up your identity to be with this person. Okay. So if there's, if you're having to make too many changes, too much, give up too many things to be with this person, then, are they really with you because they want you, or are they trying to turn you into a Stepford, husband, wife, husband, gender neutral? Here we go. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, if you're just feeling happily in love and you have friends who are watching out just to make sure that that's all it is, be blissfully in love, a fool in love, fine. That's not really a bad thing. Let's get some clarification on that. Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So I do feel like, again, with this Emperor energy, this Emperor probably does, again, it's stability. It's somebody who is, very well established, very intelligent, very, secure, those kinds of things. So they're probably very well, financially established as well. That doesn't necessarily mean they're rich, but they're probably, secure, sound. And so I feel like with this Four of Pentacles being in reverse, it is helping you to not feel like you have to be so spendthrift with your funds, because perhaps they're taking you out to nice dinners. Perhaps they're being able to treat you to some things that maybe you haven't been able to treat yourself to in a while, or perhaps your past relationship just didn't have the coin to do that with. So it is a nice thing. And of course, again, that's another thing. You're able to enjoy these wonderful things. So you really are feeling just like a fool, kind of just floating on air, so of course you're able to enjoy those things too. So that's not a bad thing. Again, another positive. Let's get one more clarifier here. Six of Wands in reverse. So that is, with that being a card, it's usually like a moving forward, in celebratory type of thing. You're happy, you're jubilant, you've got opportunities to move forward. The one thing I do think about that card is that could be telling me that either this person is in some sort of situation where they cannot move forward at this point. And that could be something that comes to light, or something you already know, that maybe they are still, they could be estranged for many, many years, separated, so, it's an agreed thing with their significant other, spouse, whatever, but it's not legally able for them to move forward into like a marriage or something, let's say. Okay. Or it could be a situation where they just don't want to. They're at that point in their life, where they're like, I don't see any reason for me to move forward. I don't see any reason for us to, go to the next level. I don't see any reason for us to move in together. Or, I like things the way they are because I'm set in my ways. I am that Emperor energy. Okay. I am very established in my ways. I got to this place because I did things a certain way, and that way was my way. Okay. So again, I feel like with that may be kind of kiboshing any sort of movement forward that you might have had working in your mind of like, I want X, Y, and Z was my ideal next steps in my relationship. And they just may not be on point for that. Or again, it could be, you know, take it as it resonates. Again, it could be something that is blocking that movement forward. You know, it could be they just have to finalize settlement on a divorce, or you have to finalize settlement on a divorce, or, you know, something of that nature. So, but I do see that there is going to be a little bit of halting on moving forward in the relationship. That's not to say you can't stay in this blissfully happy state. And if you're happy with that, then maybe no big deal. But for most people, I think, you know, especially if you're not a person who is exactly of that same ilk and mind and like, kind, quality, where you're like, I exactly want to be the same way. I don't want anything to change. I want everything my way. I want to live by myself. I want everything the way I've always had it. You know, if you're not feeling the exact same type of way that they are, you know, then you may eventually get to a point where you want more. And if they don't, and they're not giving on that, that could, just keep in mind, bear in mind, in the future, that could cause some sort of, you know, friction. So, or, you know, problem with the relationship. So keep that in mind. However, this is your future column here. So I know this is what most people are most interested in. And again, time is fluid with tarot. So future, the now could be now, meaning this month into next month, into the next month, could be several months. And the future could be a year down the road, or so on. So we don't really have a specific set time. Time is fluid in tarot. So only you will know kind of where you are in this spectrum right now to know kind of what the time frame is looking like. But we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, so it does tell me that you are going to be feeling fairly fulfilled in your relationships. Okay, so I don't see that you are distraught, distressed by this lack of movement forward. Okay, I don't feel like you're like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. At least not anytime soon. Okay, at least not like, oh no, I was so hoping we would get married tomorrow, you know, and they were like, yeah, not happening, you know, and all hell breaks loose. I just don't see that yet. Okay. I see you're pretty fulfilled. You're pretty happy. I still see you kind of really relishing that, enjoying that. Maybe they're meeting your family, you're meeting their families, you know, and you're really enjoying this whole, you know, fulfillment of family, having a bigger, you know, group to spend time with for, you know, different holidays or gatherings or groups or whatever, you know, just enjoying that. Your next card is the 8 of Swords in reverse. So I feel like, again, this is the exact opposite of feeling tied up and frustrated and struggling to get free. This is full on freedom to you. You feel like you are able to really enjoy this person. You know, you're that fool just floating on air, cloud 9, enjoying yourself, enjoying this person, enjoying this relationship, enjoying, you know, their family time, your family time. You know, I don't care if they don't have any kids and you don't have any kids, you know, you're enjoying, you know, your dogs together, your cats together. You know, if they have a huge family and you had a huge family, and your kids are little, you're enjoying spending time together. If your kids are grown, you're enjoying spending time with your grandkids together. All, you know, I really just feel like you're meshing, okay? And you're enjoying that, but you're also enjoying your time together, you know? So I just feel like it's a whole thing that's really enjoyable to you and making you feel free and open and like it's a whole new thing for you. So everything but bound up, okay, by this relationship, which is a beautiful thing. So let's get some more clarification on that going forward. What do we got here for you? All right, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And it's in reverse. So the only thing I can say about the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here that I'm feeling like is that, again, I do feel like there is going to come a point, and that may be where that point starts to come in, where because you are so free and enjoying of this is something that maybe you've always wanted to, and now the more you're around, meeting friends, meeting family, being involved, the longer you're around these people, the longer you feel more involved, more a part of the family, a part of the groups, a part of his best friends or her best friends, or, you know, their people, their tribe. You know, I feel like the more you're going to start wanting the entire Wheel of Fortune, and it's just not going to be available to you, because I feel like the Emperor is kind of still set in their ways. That's not to say they may not ever give. I just feel like this is probably where you're going to start having some friction with it, okay? Now we'll get clarification, again, we'll clarify some more, because again, they could change that, if you ultimatum them at that point or something and they don't want to lose you, you never know. But I do feel like there is, again, like I said, I think there's going to be a point, and I think this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, maybe like you're feeling like everything's coming to fruition, everything's so perfect, and you want it to be like this perfect, the wheel of perfect fortune. Like this is the whole shebang, okay? And this is kind of where it kind of collapses a little bit for you, just deflates you rather, because you're not, I just see that the Emperor energy is kind of like, why fix it if it's not broken? Why mess with a bad thing? They're being overly pragmatic, and your emotions are almost not being considered as how you're feeling. And in this Wheel of Fortune, you feel like all of the components, the whole wheel should be, equally factored in. Emotion, because everything else is here. Pragmatically, you feel like it's all clicking. The only thing that's missing is that emotional tie of actually whatever it is that's making you feel like something's missing. And you can't understand why they wouldn't give on that. So here we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So I feel like that's your energy, and I feel like your cup is running over. You have but you are really kind of put the brakes on. You're really kind of upset about this. I feel like this is what that is. That energy is you kind of you are kind of like maybe ultimatum time. Really kind of like, this is enough. You really have a feeling that you just are like, okay, look, if you can do this, and this with me, we do everything together. We're together every day. We talk together every day. We do all of our stuff together. We spend all our time with our families together. It's not like, I'm this hidden person. It's not like this or that. All I need from you is this commitment or that commitment or whatever, it is you're specifically looking for to take it to the next step. And you just can't follow up with why they won't go through with that. I think that that's making you you're like, then I'm stopping pouring out my emotions, my cup, my everything to you until you make a decision to do something better with me, or give me something, because you know what, you don't get the milk for free. You got to buy the cow. It's a terrible saying, but you get the gist. So I feel like that's where you are going to kind of stub up a little bit. In true Aries fashion, you're going to say, take this job and shove it in a relationship. And if either you want it or you don't. And if you do, if you like it, then you better put a ring on it kind of moment. That's going to be your moment there. So let's get one last clarifier here. And it's the Knight of Wands in reverse. So, I do feel like that is going to, that's going to be, I feel like that for me, for many of you, I feel like it's going to be the news that you're not going to want to hear. I feel like it's going to be the news coming in fiery fast, back at you. You might be dealing with another fire sign here, coming in back fast at you, but in a way that you don't want, kind of in reverse of what you were hoping and expecting. And it's going to kind of be like, you know what? It's like this. I've lived my life like this. I'm happy like this. I'm not going to be cornered. They're kind of doing the same thing. You're like, if you want me, then this. And they're saying, well, I'm not going to be told what to do, and then this. And it's kind of like a butting of heads. And I feel like that's what's going to happen, is they're going to kind of say, well, too bad then. If you don't like it, that's all I've got to offer. Okay, this is my offer. It's the opposite of what you wanted, but that's what I'm sending in to you. Okay? And then I think it's going to be up to you to decide, whether or not you want to hang on and see if they will eventually change their mind over time. Give them some more time, or whether or not you say, you know, screw it. I'm not going to give you another 5 seconds of my time, because you either know now or you don't know. Okay. And a lot of that is going to be based on your specific situation. You know, you as a person, how much do you enjoy what you have? You know, would you be fine? You know, you're going to have to sit and think to yourself, would you be fine having that for the rest of your days, if you had to, with that person? Or would you rather start over with someone else, with the potential of, yes, you might get a ring, you might get the piece of paper, you might get what you want, whatever that step is, but it's not that person. So you kind of have to, you're going to have to kind of make a decision, because I do believe that this person may not give you the answer that you specifically want. Now we're going to get 3 love cards down here, and hopefully they will give some insight into these. And I will throw one of these on the past, present, and future, of course, and we'll kind of try to see what vibe they give us. Okay, so on the past we have calling in your soulmate. So I think that's where you decided, as you know, your sword, Queen of Swords, you knew that wasn't right for you. You wanted to go look for your soulmate. You got on your chariot, you rolled out. Okay, I think that's exactly what happened there. You knew you were looking for something more. This wasn't long term. This was not going to work for you. You knew this needed to be cut literally with your sword. You took your Queen of Swords energy, you jumped in your chariot, you rolled out looking for a soulmate. Okay, now I feel like you found the soulmate in this Emperor energy. Okay, that's how my intuition is telling me that. I feel like that is like the aura of a soulmate is around them as soon as you see them. Like you're like, whoa, that's the one. That's like, you're in almost in awe. Like it's a feeling like you're skipping like a fool in love. And that's something that's not something you normally do. Okay. So, I mean, keep that in mind whenever you're over here making a decision. Now, this one's getting to know each other. Well, this is the present, and this is clearly where you're getting to know each other. So that perfectly fits. Okay. This is where maybe you're not that pressed about, you know, anything about moving forward yet, because again, you're just now getting to know each other. You know, you're not tied on the pinnacles because this person's maybe taking you out. These are your first wonderful trips, dates, what have you. You know, you're a fool in love. You're getting to know each other. So this is, you know, getting to know each other. It's great. It's perfect. That's what you're doing now. And now again, time is fluid. So if you haven't met this person, coming soon, but getting to know each other can take as long as it takes, you know, depending on the type of people you are. Some people are, you know, and if you're super, super busy people too, that can only get to see each other once every week or 2 weeks or whatever, it can take a lot longer time to get to know each other than people who are together every single day. So, you know, it's on a case-by-case basis, take it as it resonates. But of course, you know, this is the phase where you're getting to know each other. Of course it is. But the future phase is stay optimistic about your love life. So with that being the future phase, I think, again, this is something where, you know, no matter what, you're not going to get I do believe, like I said, I think you're not going to get the answer, at least at this point, that is exactly what you wanted. I think you're going to throw out an ultimatum. I do. I see that for most of you, and I see that you may get back kind of a snappy answer that you don't like. It may even, you know, excuse my French, but it may even piss some of you off because you're like, excuse me, you know, but I think you need to stay optimistic and really think it through, okay? Because everything in me and my intuition tells me that this person is the soulmate that you were calling in back here. And that even if you did give them up, you know, you might search and search, and you might find plenty of people willing to, you know, move in together or get married or whatever the next step is that you were hoping for, have kids, whatever. Okay. But you won't have the same feelings for them. So you really need to weigh what's most important to you, is all I can say. I'm never going to tell you to settle. Please don't think that that's what I'm saying to you in any way. So if you're hell-bent on having children or getting married or whatever, and this person's saying no, it's never ever going to happen, I am not telling you by any means waste time with this person forever and ever, or just settle and say, okay, well, I'll give up my dreams of having children or being a wife and mother because, you know, no, by all means, absolutely not. But what I am saying is, I do want you to think, you know, long and hard before you make any definitive decision, okay, about your love here, about this specific person, okay? Would you be happier without those things with this person? Or do you believe that if you had those things with another person that you might like not quite as much, but almost as much, or maybe half as much, or maybe 3/4 as much, or just a little bit less, would you still be as happy? Or are you so in love with this person that even if you had all the rings in the world, all the wedding dresses on earth, and all the kids in the world, it wouldn't make up for the fact that it wasn't with this person? Do you see what I'm saying? So I just want you to, you know, stay optimistic about it. Think about positively the good side of both options. Don't just snap judgment because you're like, oh, they said no to me. Like, oh, no, you know, don't just snap judgment, because that emotional decisions are terrible decisions to make, especially on major things like this. Okay. Stay optimistic. Think about it. Think long and hard about it before you decide whether to sever this relationship. Okay. Because they may not be giving to you on certain important things. And I do feel like I feel like these are very important things to you. I don't feel like it's something where you're like, he won't buy me the car I wanted, I'm out of here. It's not that type of thing. I do feel for most of you, this is something that this person is very set in their ways. They're just a certain type of person that's like, you know, could be of a certain age range or a certain type. And they're just like, nope, I like things the way they are, this way. And you know, they may come around. Keep that in mind too. People may come around, you know, eventually. But how long are you willing to wait? Again, that's another thing you have to think about. You have to decide, you have to know, okay? So I am going to pull 3 of these soulmate cards, and this is whether you're single, whether you're with somebody, whatever, okay? You think about your soulmate or what your ideal soulmate would be. And then I'm going to pull 3 of these, okay? And then you can apply these as you see fit to yourself, just kind of as a closeout here. So this first one says, positive and loving thoughts are instrumental in creating positive and loving relationships. Fear and doubts only serve to create great uncertainty. Think more about what is right in your relationship and less on what you think is wrong. And again, this goes along with that, stay optimistic, okay? You need to think optimistically on both ideals, okay? To be fair, to be objective, okay? Because if you gut react or emotionally react or knee-jerk react, it's going to be a decision you may regret, okay? This one says, trust in the healing power of love, for it is only through love that happiness is possible. Observe all that transpires, but don't get emotionally attached. The storm will clear. You can be of assistance to the one you love only if you remain positive. Again, stay optimistic. And with this one saying the storm will clear, again, I feel like that's kind of alluding to the possibility that there is a chance that, again, they could come around, okay? Now, if it's a kid issue with having kids and you're of a certain age range and you know that you only have so much time, you know, and even with freezing eggs type of thing, if you're a female, you know, or, you know, certain things like that, you know, even at that point, you're like, no, it's still, it's past time, you know, that kind of thing. You know, that is a timing thing. I understand that. But as far as like marriage or moving in together, those are things that could happen. You know, people get married at 80, okay? My aunt got married at like, with her, after her husband passed away, she got remarried in her 80s, okay? You know, it happens all the time. So, you know, she's 93 now. So, and just living fine. I mean, now she's single because that one passed away. She's just living through them. Anyways, but okay. Moving on. But this last one. You are who you are because of your history. All of it has helped you grow in love and wisdom. Every experience has blessed you in some way. Embrace the past and forgive anything that needs forgiving. So again, I do think this is stay optimistic. I think that is the overwhelming theme here. Okay. So you're calling in your soulmate. This could very well be your soulmate. I get that vibe for many of you. And I'm just being honest. Okay. I feel that. Does that mean even if they are your soulmate, if they aren't willing to give you what you need and you feel like you don't care if they're your soulmate, you just as soon take somebody who might be the second best thing so that you can have certain things that you've dreamed about your whole life, then that's your choice. By all means, I would never tell you to ever, you know, change what you want in life or sacrifice or settle, okay? I'm not, ever. But do think things through. Do not hold your past either. So, you know, don't hold your past. So if you had an ex who wouldn't move in with you, marry you, whatever. And so that's just a real, you know, a real sticking point with you, or a real, you know, a open wound for you, and something that you just really like, that's not going to happen to me again. You know, don't let that be, you know, don't let your own pride, okay, be here. You know, embrace the past and forgive anything that needs forgiving, okay? So don't let those things carry over into this relationship, so much so that, you know, you use it against this person, or that you let that control your decision and keep you from having the love of your life out of sheer like, what do you mean no? You don't tell me no. You're just the same as such and such was. I can't believe it. When in reality, if you stopped, if you didn't think about them, if you forgave all of the people in the past, didn't even think about them, just focused on this one person, stayed optimistic, stayed positive, you know, all of that, and just focused on this, you'd realize this person is not that person. This is somebody totally different. This is somebody who might possibly come around. You know, don't treat them like that past person. Don't let them carry the sins of that last person, and don't let yourself carry the scars of that last person, because it will only affect you negatively. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it does help you or resonate with you, I do appreciate if you would like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. It's really helpful for me, and I really appreciate it. Otherwise, if you want to check out the other signs in your chart, I'd appreciate that too. I know moon readings are up on my page, and this is a big moon month. I think we have double moons. We have a eclipse this month, all kinds of good excitement going on in April. So do check those out. Hope to see you back soon. Bye.